Just when we thought the 2025 World Championship was drifting towards Woking, Las Vegas threw the biggest curveball of the season. We had a masterclass from Max Verstappen, a rookie sensation on the podium, and a post-race technical shocker that has blown the title fight wide open with just 2 rounds to go. McLaren has been disqualified, both of them. Max is back in the hunt. Hi everyone, and welcome to the very first video on Slipstream Stories. Today, we're breaking down the madness of the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the reshuffled standings, and why next weekend in Qatar just became the most important race of the year. We could not have picked a crazier week to start. The Las Vegas Grand Prix delivered high-speed drama on the strip, and the stewards' room delivered a bombshell. Let's get into the main highlights. First, let's talk about the race itself. Lando Norris started on pole, looking to seal the deal on his championship lead. But as we've seen so often this year, turn 1 in Vegas is treacherous. Lando tried to cover the inside line immediately. It was an aggressive move against Max, but he pushed it too hard. He carried too much speed, locked up slightly, and ran wide on the exit. That opened the door for Max Verstappen. Max got a much better exit and powered past Lando to snatch the lead. Lando actually lost so much momentum that George Russell pounced, demoting the McLaren to P3. It wasn't until later in the race, on lap 34, that Lando finally overtook Russell to take back P2. Up front, it was a Verstappen masterclass. After overtaking Lando on lap 1, he controlled the pace, managed the tires, and crossed the line to take his 6th victory of the season. But the real story happened hours after the champagne was sprayed. In post-race scrutineering, both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri were disqualified. The FIA technical delegates found that the planks or the skid blocks under both McLarens were worn down beyond the legal limit. So, what exactly is the plank? It's a mandatory wooden or composite block attached to the underside of the car. The rule is simple. It must be at least 9 millimeters thick at the start of the race. It's there as a safety measure to limit how low teams can run the car. If the plank wears down past that 9 millimeter minimum, it proves the car was riding too low on the track. Why is this such a harsh penalty? Running the car lower gives a massive aerodynamic advantage, sealing the floor and generating more downforce, which means more speed through the corners. Because this is a clear performance gain gained from breaking a technical rule, the penalty is non-negotiable disqualification. This is a disaster for McLaren. Lando finished P2 and Oscar P4 on the road. That's a massive haul of points instantly wiped off the board. This decision promoted George Russell to P2 and rookie sensation Kimi Antonelli to P3. Moving on to our top performers, we have to talk about 2 drivers specifically. First, Max Verstappen. Before the disqualifications, this win was already a statement. He capitalized on the start and never looked back. With the McLaren DSQs, he didn't just win, he gained a massive chunk of points on his rivals without them scoring a single one. But our driver of the day has to be the Italian rookie, Kimi Antonelli. He started all the way down in P17. To navigate the chaos of the midfield on a street circuit and finish P4 on the road was incredible. Yes, he had a 5-second penalty for a false start, but his long-run pace was electric and kept rivals Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc in check. The rookie sensation pulled off a masterclass of tire management. Antonelli ran a jaw-dropping 48 laps on the hard tires. Following the disqualifications, he is officially credited with P3. Mercedes looks to have found a serious rhythm, and Antonelli is proving he belongs in that seat. But the real story of this race isn't on the podium, it's in the points. With McLaren's huge haul now wiped clean, the championship standings have been thrown into absolute chaos. Lando Norris remains on 390 points, as he scored 0 in Vegas. Oscar Piastri remains on 366 points, and Max Verstappen jumps up to 366 points. Yes, you heard that right. Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri are now tied on points, sitting just 24 points behind Lando Norris. Before the disqualifications, Norris was looking at a 40-plus point lead, with potentially one hand on the trophy. Now, the gap is less than a race win. With 2 rounds left, Max Verstappen has risen from the ashes and is right back in this title fight. We have 0 time to breathe because we are heading straight to the second Grand Prix of the triple header. Next weekend is the Qatar Grand Prix at the Lusail International Circuit. Here is what you need to look out for. First, the sprint format. Qatar is a sprint weekend. That means there are more points on the table. With the gap down to 24, a good sprint and race for Max and a bad one for Lando could bring them within single digits before we head to Abu Dhabi. Second, the tire killers. Lusail is aggressive on tires with its high-speed corners and abrasive surface. This usually favors cars with high downforce and good tire management. Historically, this has suited McLaren, but after the plankware issue in Vegas, will they be forced to run higher ride heights, costing them performance? And finally, momentum. Red Bull and Max have the momentum. Mercedes is looking dangerous with Russell and Antonelli. McLaren needs to shake off the shock of the DSQ and regroup immediately, or the Drivers' Championship title will slip away. The 2025 season just got the plot twist of the century. Can Lando hold on, or will Max snatch a fifth title? Let us know in the comments. Do you think the McLaren disqualification just cost Lando the title? If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe to Slipstream Stories. We'll be back next week to break down the madness in Qatar. Until then, adios.